Thanks, Catherine. One of the members at today's House Intelligence Committee hearing, Congressman Trey Gowdy, the chairman of the House Oversight Committee. He joins me right now to talk about all of this and whether Jared Kushner's explanations about all those contacts were enough for him. Good evening, Mr. Chairman.
Good evening. How are you, Brett?
So where do you think this is going, this investigation, and the meetings so far? What are they telling you?
Well, on the congressional side, it's going pretty slowly, but Jared Kushner is an important witness. I'm glad we got him in. We have two other witness interviews scheduled for this week. On Bob Mueller's side, I have no idea where it's going or how long it's going to take, and frankly, I should not know where it's going or how long it's going to take.
Here is Jared Kushner from yesterday about being pretty definitive.
I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses. And I have been fully transparent in providing all requested information.
Do you believe that to be true? And did he answer all the questions today behind closed doors?
Yeah, Brett, he answered all of the questions. Even when the Democrats ran out of good questions, he kept answering them. He stayed for 1 hour longer than he was supposed to. In fact, he stayed for 1 hour longer than DNI Dan Coates stayed, who's the head of our intelligence community. You just played a quote where he used the phrase in the campaign. I went back through that quote with him word by word and said, okay, take out part of the campaign. Do you know of anyone, period, who colluded, conspired, or coordinated with Russia during the 2016 presidential primary or general election? The answer is no. I asked him that question every way you can ask a person that question, and the answer was always no.
He was one of the people in this Russia meeting in Trump Tower. If all of this is accurate, where is the investigation to go? Understanding you don't know Special Counsel Mueller's direction where that could end up, but as far as you're looking at it.
Well, there's a universe of witnesses we have to talk to. You just mentioned the June 2016 meeting. Donald Trump Jr. would be someone we wanted to talk to. Paul Manafort would be someone we needed to talk to. Roger Stone. But as it relates to Jared Kushner, who was involved in many different facets of the campaign, I could not have asked him more unequivocally, did you collude, conspire, confederate, coordinate anything with Russia or any other foreign actor? And the answer was no at every different level. Under oath, he was also quizzed by the Democrats for the exact same amount of time. The answer never changed. He was as definitive as you can possibly be in answering that question in the negative.
All right, I want to turn to now what the president has been saying about the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. We just played some sound from that and his tweets, obviously. Your thoughts on this and a president and an attorney general that obviously doesn't have the confidence of the president?
Well, Brett, it's sad for me on a number of levels. Having worked in the Justice Department, I view that job differently from other government jobs, other cabinet-level jobs. I don't think personnel decisions are usually well resolved over Twitter. I think the president's frustration was not the recusal. I hope it wasn't, because I don't think Attorney General Sessions had a choice but to recuse himself. If the president's going to be frustrated, he should be frustrated by what led up to the recusal, which was Senator Sessions had a faulty memory. I think that's what led him to have to recuse himself. The recusal itself was appropriate. His failure to recall meetings with the Russian ambassador is what led him to that point. And if the president's frustrated about that, I understand his frustration, but you work all that out during the interview process, not after you get the job.
But if you're Attorney General and you're reading and hearing all of this, are you resigning?
Well, you should immediately leave any country where I was the Attorney General. I would not stay if my employer had lost confidence in me. But on the other hand, Attorney General Sessions may believe that he is doing the job the way he is supposed to. He doesn't work for the president. He works for a blindfolded woman holding a set of scales. So he's got to make that call. It's a very difficult circumstance. And again, I view that job differently than I do Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Agriculture. It is heartbreaking to me as a former DOJ employee to see public squabbling between the commander-in-chief and the nation's top law enforcement officer.
Do you think that this will be resolved, all of these investigations, anytime soon?
I hope so. Brett, we are, again, we'll do 3 interviews this week. Part of that depends upon the pace with which the Democrats on the House side act. And based on what I heard this morning, which was cramming 5 minutes of questioning into 3 hours, they benefit from this lasting as long as possible. Those with California Senate ambitions and others benefit from this lasting as long as possible. So at some point, I hope our leaders on our side will say, we're going to march forward with or without you. And again, Bob Mueller, which I think is what most people are waiting on, I hope they're not waiting on Congress to unlock the mysteries of the world. I hope they're waiting on Bob Mueller. I don't have any idea how long that's going to take.
Last thing, put your health care hat on. The Senate moves forward with the motion to proceed. They're now amending the bill. If the Senate finally gets to something that they're going to pass and they go to conference committee, are you confident that you all can get something through?
I am. That's a lot of ifs, and that might be the 7th sign of the apocalypse if all that happened. But yes, I think that we can pass something if the Senate is able to do so.
All right. Mr. Chairman, thanks for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.